Disclosure is a joint effort. Mother/Father God. Channel, Core 3E May PSD. March the 18th, 2013. It is a bittersweet time for us in higher dimensions who have overseen the progress toward ascension for all on planet Earth. Sometimes the best laid plans come to fruition brilliantly, with the full cooperation of all the beings involved. At other times, the whole process is slowed to a snail's pace, as you say, by the reluctance or fear of one of the major players. Orchestrating a cosmic shift can be a tricky business when billions of free will humans in lower dimensions are the prime movers toward change. Such is the case now, while we wait for the people on the ground in the US to work up the courage to disclose the fact that there are millions of star brothers and sisters in their spaceships waiting to land, with every kind of technological and informational help you can imagine, and then some. We understand that it is difficult for those of you on the ground to imagine complete change without being led in your minds to the kinds of disaster and chaos scenarios you have been exposed to in the media. We do want to reassure you, however, that there are always plans B, C and D. We will wait, but not for long, for the players who were assigned the major roles in Plan A to execute their parts of the plan. If they hesitate beyond a reasonable time for overcoming reluctance and anxiety, then we will realign our legions of light to create an alternate scenario elsewhere. We had hoped that our country of shining promise, the gifted US, would be the center of excitement and revelation. However, Americans may be disappointed if the ships land and are greeted with open arms elsewhere first. There will be great advantages socially and politically for the ones who come forward to be the stars of the greatest show on Earth. You may wish to write letters to your congressional representatives and to your president to urge disclosure as soon as possible. There will be congressional hearings, and the movie Serious Disclosure will be coming out soon, so the news will either trickle out little by little, which risks having it once more disregarded as weird or impossible, or all at once, which makes it undeniable. A tidal wave of change hinges on the first move. As many revolutions have smoldered for years until suddenly they burst forth in a syllogistic explosion of feeling, this has progressed slowly, with many people being alerted to the presence of visitors from other planets. Unfortunately, before we could intervene on your behalf because we did not have your approval yet, the reptilians in league with other dark hats in power on Gaia had begun a campaign of abductions and bizarre experiments. People who suffered those experiences were convinced that ETs were generally dangerous. Nothing could be further from the truth. Many of you know our beloved Ashtar, the supreme commander of the fleet which awaits uncloaking. He is affable, loving, kind, exceedingly intelligent, and dedicated in service to the great project which has been led from the beginning by our Jesus Sada. Many of the twin flames of those masters in service to the Gaia project are here among you, working tirelessly to bring light to the darkest corners of the planet. They have never lost faith that the humans of Gaia would one day be able to elevate themselves above the dark forces, releasing their clutches on the minds and hearts of the population. As the eons passed, and it looked as if the population, all of whom came originally to help make a difference, had succumbed completely to the control of dark forces, they refused to accept defeat. They never lost hope in seeing the new golden age dawn eventually on Gaia. Over many civilizations, the dedicated army of ascended masters, archangels, fairies, elves, and all the kingdoms of Gaia have kept their faith alive and the vision in their consciousness active, the hope and dream of each one of them, Behind the veil, each of you has played your part to attempt to awaken your fellow humans, and a difficult job it has been. But now, enough of you are ready, and eagerly awaiting the promised revelations, and waiting, and waiting. Yes, we feel it too. The starting gun is poised in the air, the runners are in place, but the resounding crack never comes. We ask that you continue working to raise your own vibrations and to reach out to as many as you can, regardless of their disdain or disbelief, to elevate enough to tip the scales, rather than just squeaking by with the bare minimum of conscious participants. So you can see why our messages, especially over the past year, have had a tone of urgency about them. The conditions have aligned to make this glorious event possible, and it will not repeat in exactly the same relationship again for approximately 30,000 years. You have the amusing saying, failure is not an option. This is how our dear Jesus and his loyal followers feel about this mission. Their hearts are on the line. Is there more you can do to ease their efforts? We see their tireless, unrelenting work as the heroic Atlas carrying the world on his shoulders. Arise, children, and help the Atlas team of light to shoulder this burden. They adore you as they do us, and will not give up until all good things have come to pass, but for their sakes and your own, please rouse yourselves from your 3D distractions and self-involved ambition to begin to pull your own weight. We know there are things you could do to speed along the disclosure. Become a proponent yourself, by doing a little research on the internet about sightings and crop circles, their primary attempts to contact the public. Armed with facts, go out into the world and begin casually discussing your findings, with humor and goodwill. Create story scenarios to present to friends and acquaintances, like, what if your soul partner is there on the ships, just waiting to make contact? What if you refuse to welcome them and he/she has to just wait out the rest of your lifetime to see you? What if the ships are filled with gifts for us and we refuse to accept them? There is one irrefutable argument in favor of welcoming them. That is, that if they have the technology to hover over the Earth in their beautiful ships, they obviously could have wiped you out long ago if that had been their wish. Therefore, they must by deduction be friendly. If people argue with that reasoning, repeat it. It is the irrefutable evidence that they are here to help you. We need your help at this time, dear ones. Do not leave your devoted saviors and suitors waiting in the wings, languishing sadly, longing for their long-anticipated family reunion. Spread the word, help is on the way. Everyone, including the doubters, will thank you when they discover the magnificence that awaits you. If you are one who longs for contact, go out into the open at night, look up at the stars, and telepathically welcome them. They will show themselves to you if conditions permit, and they will absolutely hear your greeting. It will be like your signature on the petition, your vote on the Bill of Galactic Rights. You owe it to yourselves to fulfill the dream you came here to co-create. Do not falter now. You are being protected, and your participation will be celebrated throughout the cosmos. Do not sleep through the party. We love you beyond words, dear ones. We are Mother/Father God, in cooperation with the Galactic Federation of Light in their ships, awaiting your response. Via Core 3 May, March the 18th, 2013, 7 p.m.